Warning, 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 warning. This is a Emergency Broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Broadcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name's Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law, and here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know the day out. I don't know what the number is.
We're just doing the show, Uncle. It could be 1. It could be 1,000.
I don't know what it is. I lost track, people.
It's somewhere in between 1 and 1,000.
We,
310.
310 is the number.
That's it. I knew that.
Oh.
I knew that, Uncle.
310. 310.
Yeah, it's a good number.
Okay, now. All right, people. Now, let's get those phones ringing. This is the comedy show. Everybody ready? Start championing. Let's go.
We're live.
Ding, ring, ring. What are you saying?
Well,
I'm waiting on the ring, ring, ring.
I know. They need to call this number at 319-527-5016, or you can also use Skype. We're old-fashioned like that. We use Skype, not that fancy Zoom stuff. Use Skype and type a message to Charles.Ocelli. Type him a message. He'll bring you onto the call. Charles.Ocelli on Skype, or 319-527-5016 is the number you call. We're live on the Ocelli Radio Network Sunday night. We always are. Uncle the Broadcast. This is what we do on Sundays, Uncle. This is our world. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
It's good.
It's on. They're in.
It's on. You're in.
They're in, I said, but
they're here.
Okay, now. Let's get them rolling. Let's go. Up, we got the crack room going.
Yep.
All right, who's in the crack room? Well, we got time here.
So that would be the Ocelli.com chat. I see that Citizen GX is there and Chuck is there. That might be it. It might be a slow night here, Uncle, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm told.
That don't sound good.
Yeah, I'm told there were some issues with people getting in and out of chat and stuff like that. So sometimes Chatango has a problem, code, whatever. There's nothing I can do with it. It just is what it is. So it could be people are being held back because they're having trouble getting in or staying in. That's what I'm told, but who knows? You got chats all over the place though, because you got the live stream on YouTube and what do you call it? Twitch, right? Or what do you got? What do you got live streaming right now, video wise?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Chuck. We're live streaming on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and I believe Telegram, that probably nobody's watching, but those are the different live streaming channels you can find us on.
If anybody wants Telegram, that's a new one, I suppose.
Yeah, we use it, but I don't know if anybody really goes there. It's one I set up because I have options to do several different ones, and I once I get past YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, those are the big ones that really work the best for us, Uncle. After that, I'm just like, well, let's just add another one. I don't know, it's pretty much like that. But people should be subscribing to our YouTube and our Twitter and our Instagram and all that, right?
Yeah.
They should be.
They should be on those. That's on my main ones.
They should be pressing the button there, Uncle.
Press the button and you get talking.
Do it. On all of the social media, we're now at Uncle Podcast on all of those. Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So you just go at Uncle Podcast, you'll find us. And if it's YouTube or Twitter, you will find the live stream there, as well as Twitch. So many places to be found, Uncle. We're in all of them.
Here's our first phone call.
There it is.
There we go.
Good.
I know who it is.
You know who it is?
All right, come on there. Let's go, Jimmy. Hello? See,
their name's Herb.
Oh.
Who?
Surprise.
No, this is Herb. Herbie?
Herbie.
Herb
this is somebody new. Who's this guy? Who's this guy now? No.
Oh, yeah.
Herb, what do you think
from
about
Alabama, man?
Oh, an Alabama boy.
There you go.
Hey, I hear you, Alabama. College boys ain't doing so good. I didn't mind.
Alabama swimmer.
Oh.
I think they ended up winning. They looked like
They
weren't,
finally
but then
won
they
it.
did, right?
They finally won it.
Yeah, so, not that bad, but could be better, I guess.
Yeah. So what's up with you?
Oh, here's Jimmy James.
Oh, this is Jimmy James now.
Here I am.
He changed.
What happened to the man?
I don't know.
Jimmy James is here. Lions enthusiast.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, you boys won.
They did.
Nah. We took them this time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, we lost one, though. We shouldn't have. The refs stole that one, and that very nefarious call that they had where they only got 15 yards after running and knocking over our quarterback about 1 second into the thing. What the heck?
Well, you got the Thursday night one next week.
Oh, yeah, Detroit plays that.
No, we had that, and now we play Sunday. We just kicked, who was it, the Falcons' butts.
Well, yeah, you got them, but
now we got to play
Green Bay.
Now we got to play the Packers. Yeah, we got to play the Packers. But that's an early
one. I'm just saying that's an early one.
That's the early
I
Thursday.
think that's the early
We're talking
one.
about next.
We're talking next week, not now.
The week coming up.
The week coming up for you.
Gosh, I'm confused what it even is. Today is Sunday. It's crazy. It's hard to remember that, honestly.
It is Sunday.
I knew that, but somehow.
So, what's happening with you, Jimmy?
Well, actually, I think I forgot what day it is, too.
Yeah, right? See? Told you it was easy to do.
I'm there, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I thought it was Friday.
It's Friday. We just had.
Seems like it ought to be.
We're just going through the weekend. How can it be Friday?
Well, Sunday night is an odd time, Uncle, and this is when we do the show. It's like, well, is this the end of the weekend or is this the start of the week? Because we wake up tomorrow, it's just another week.
Yeah, it is the start of the week, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's designated as the first day of the week.
But no work until the next day, so you got one extra day rest before Monday, if you think about it that way.
Sunday has always been a confusing day. There's just no way around it, I don't think. It's like, what is this day? Am I working? Am I not working? Is this a day of rest? Am I supposed to be doing work? Is the work week now? Is it tomorrow?
Not supposed to be.
Am I relaxing? Am I upset that I can't relax? Or what am I doing?
Okay, here's a question. Uncle, I know you go to church and whatnot. You know how that's very confusing to me. There's the Sabbath, which my understanding is Saturday.
Yeah.
But we all go to church on Sunday. But some Catholics go to church Saturday. There seems to be some sort of disagreement here. I'm not exactly. Can you clarify this?
Oh, yeah. What day is the right day to go to church, Uncle? Is it Saturday or is it Sunday? What's the right day to get in there?
Well, the Catholics, I got to say for myself, the Catholics, it's Sunday. It's originally supposed to be Sunday.
Okay.
But they made it the people they want to go Saturday, they'd go.
Just to get more people in.
Yeah, and the Catholics do it that way.
Interesting.
That's how they do it. But
now, see, that seems like.
That's the.
Am I crazy, or is this the church just catering to the mundane reality of people's schedules? That kind of what we were talking about Sunday in the first position. It's like, how's their schedule work out, and what is a Sunday?
It's actually, I gotta say, the different division. What is that?
Long division.
No. The beliefs.
Oh, the denomination.
The denominations.
Oh, of the Protestants.
Yeah, that's how it runs.
Okay, what's weird is though, like, all right, there's some people that just say they go to church 3 times a week anyway. It's just what they do, right? Okay, that's cool. But the weird thing to me always was, even when I was a kid, the idea you read the Bible, and it says, okay, so the Lord did this on the first day, that on the second day, whatever. On the seventh day, he rests, right? So it's supposed
a seventh-day rest period on a Sunday.
Well, but here's the thing. If you look at your calendar, right, what's the seventh day? It's Saturday. Right? Yeah. The first day is Sunday, and there's 7 days in a week. What's the last day of the week then? Saturday. So isn't that the day that we're all supposed to rest because the Lord rested on the seventh day? I mean, that's the way I looked at it as a kid, and I was confused.
That's the confusing part of it, Chuck. Yeah, that is the confusing part of it. But in the real way, it's supposed to be, of course, when you go to a church, what they believe is Sunday, because we're back again with the Saturday problem. I mean, but
all my Catholic friends when I was a kid, they all went to church on Sunday, right? The first people I ever met that went to church on Saturday, they called themselves Seventh-day Adventists, right? Okay, I understand it's a different denomination, and everybody, different denomination. Look, maybe you're supposed to go to church 3 times a week. There's a couple of denominations that say that. You should go on Wednesday, but the Wednesday should be for study, and you should also go on Sunday and on Friday.
There's another one like that. Yeah. I know. There is one like that. My other sister is like you're saying, goes on Wednesday.
Yeah, see?
Well, she has been going on Wednesday. They've been sort of slacking.
Well, you think about it, that's the middle of the week.
They do that because to study. Yeah, and I was listening to, I sort of got in trying to doing that now. And that doing with other things like that. But the Catholics in here, they don't do it that way.
Yeah, well, like the Methodists, right? The Methodists, which I grew up with, and that's like, super light Catholic, right? That's what that is. If you read Methodist books, it says, look, we're under the Catholic Church too, but we're just not, strict. All right, so you go with them. They tell you to study on a Wednesday too, but a lot of those churches will tell you, look, you don't got to come here to study. You could. But you don't gotta. You could stay at home and, just read your Bible on Wednesday. Remind yourself in the middle of the week about what it is you're going to learn on Sunday, or keep it with you. And then there's
They do that sometimes too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got no objection to it. I'm just wondering what you think is the right way to go. Since Jimmy James asked you, what is it about that? Why is it some people go Saturday? Why is it some people go Sunday? I mean, you think it's just it's up to you to figure it out, or you think there's a right way?
Well, it's supposed to be, it's Sunday means for them. But like I said, it falls Saturday sometimes, and people want to go early for Sunday to replace. And there's a certain time span on that Saturday. You go at 5, it will accept. If you go before 5, it won't accept what the Catholics do. That's how they operate.
There's a time of the day, 5 is like the cutoff? How'd that happen?
I don't know. That's what I've heard of what people are saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, I don't know. I just hear all this. I just hear like scheduling. It's like, well, when do I go to work next? When's my next scheduled day at work? It's like this day.
But with the COVID stuff, that came up. That exactly what you said. Mm-hmm. Put a wrench in it to say, all right, now that everybody had COVID, people hasn't been going.
Oh, yeah, that dropped the numbers down even further.
Yeah,
and I know churches, generally speaking, are struggling in terms of numbers. Attendance. It's tough. They're having a time keeping people. Getting new members from the younger generations is also a stretch these days.
Right.
And so they're having to do things like if you were to say that, well, to cater to people's schedule, we gotta be open on Saturday because that's when people want to be here That's just the way I'm kind of like looking at this. Like, well, people, it's easier for them to get there on that day.
In the Catholic Church where I live, every time I drive by Saturday, the place is packed.
Mm-hmm.
No, that could be.
So I just thought I thought Catholics went to church Saturday.
They do sometimes, yeah. They do.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of the Orthodox ones, different, this or that, Catholic Orthodox of whatever, they go on Saturdays. Also the Seventh-day Adventists, like I said. But it's weird to me. I always thought that was probably the right way to go, because it's like I said, you read, what the Lord did, right? And you're supposed to be in that path. So he rested on the seventh day.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I was when I was with my other sister. Well, I did the way they did it for a little bit. I can see where the difference is. And when you get baptized proper way.
Baptism.
And so I've got baptism twice. I got baptism one other time. And this was the right way.
You know what's interesting?
What I read in the book.
The Seventh-day Adventist thing is of interest to me because there's actually locally, Uncle, there is an enclave of Seventh-day Adventists that live in the town of Loma Linda, which is essentially like right here next to Riverside. It's like 2 towns over, essentially, is Loma Linda. And it's one of these 5 places on the planet that's been designated a blue zone.
I never heard this.
A blue zone just means that the population in those particular areas lives to be over the age of 100. Statistically speaking, like a huge amount of the population live way longer than anywhere else.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
Loma Linda is one of those places.
You mentioned that last time to your wife about that going by. Yeah, you said that. I heard about that.
The people that have written about this say specifically it's because it's the Seventh-day Adventists living there and they have a particular diet and things like this and lifestyle.
Well,
that's
different. Like back again, that's different people. They are the different people that are thinking that way.
Yes, but Uncle, have you ever thought that they're going to church on Saturday? Maybe that's making them live to be over 100. How about that for an argument?
Well, that might
be.
That
coming, did you?
No, that might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there could be a connection.
Oh, something in there.
I'm thinking.
There's got to be something.
I mean, Blue Zone.
It is one of the commandments.
Blue's commandment. Well,
wait, what's
it? It is one of the commandments. It's not.
What is? Wait a minute.
Wait, you following this, Uncle?
He's talking about the commandments now.
I know, yeah. I've heard about those.
They're one of them, keep the Sabbath holy and all that. Of course, right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to figure out what the Sabbath is, right?
In the Catholics again for a moment, they believed Easter. Now, when Easter came around, they believed Sunday is the time the Lord rises. Right. I understood that. But in the Sabbath, that's the Saturday where everybody's talking the Saturday they go into church once in a while. That's the Sabbath where he was buried and not raised yet. Maybe there's something about that.
Maybe. It's somewhere.
You got that, Jimmy?
Somewhere in there. It's somewhere in that.
Oh, Jimmy?
That makes sense, Jimmy?
Yeah.
That makes sense? What I just said? That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting to. So
got it.
There is something about that. So the Sabbath is something. There is something about the Sabbath. And he also has his last day of supper before he passes too into that.
Oh yeah.
So there's things about it. If you come and think about it, there's things about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Days of the week and whatnot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, here we are on Sunday night, Ocelli Radio Network. Gosh, this is our chosen day to do this.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Uncle? That we do the show on Sunday night? What's the meaning of that?
Well, we put it ourselves into Sunday night where it used to be, and to say Friday, but
another work day, Friday.
But it was the end of the month, end of the week, and everybody enjoyed themselves. For the next day would be okay. We can relax. But sorry to say, we had to switch it because of this man, the sidekick.
I did it,
and because of his schedule problems, that I had to be bumped on the Sunday.
We bumped you.
And that's not nice to bump the actor, man.
Well,
and you're doing this.
I am doing this.
I know.
I'm definitely doing this.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. It is.
Of course, no.
My schedule even isn't that bad. It's just slightly unpredictable as a problem. It's just that little bit of unpredictability that can throw things off, Uncle.
I wish you got another job there. You could have been back down, and I could go back to Friday. Because I think the Friday is better.
Yeah, but
and
Friday,
then standpoint is point, but it's worth for him. But worth for him to set up everything. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, no day is perfect. There's no perfect day to do the broadcast, unfortunately. So you got to pick one. Ours is Sunday. I'm rolling into the Sunday thing. I'm just calling into question what Sunday even is tonight.
Sunday is a talk show that we have to talk now.
Well, yes.
I mean, because you got into this, and I really liked it.
Well, I think there's my answer, Uncle. What is Sunday? Sunday is the talk show night.
That's it. The talk show night. So how can I even as simple as that?
We finally answered the question. Sunday is talk show night.
I had to come up with it. After all you were trying to figure out what to put down. And
we had to go to church to get right with the Lord to figure that one out. I mean, sometimes you got to do that. It's just the way things are.
Boom.
Sometimes.
Listen.
You do what you got to do out there. You just make your way, Uncle.
Its only problem is it cuts me back of doing my drinks. I can't do my drinks on Sunday.
I don't know if the Lord would approve of that.
No, can't. No,
yeah, right?
I can't do them.
So it's throwing a wrench in our drink reviews then.
Yeah, I can't do them.
Oh, gosh.
I just realized that
goodness. I never thought of that.
Tonight. I just realized something.
Oh, boy.
Because if the people sort of say, for example, girl gets loaded with a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
And it's a Sunday, and they have to work next day.
Yeah, well, there you go, yes.
There's your answer.
Yeah,
there.
That's the practical end that I was actually thinking as you were saying that, Uncle. Like, you just practically, it's bad to get drunk on Sunday night because you have a hangover at work the next day.
Exactly. That's why I liked it on Friday, so they can rest it until Monday. But we can't because of sidekick here.
And then we're back to the work schedule again. The work schedule did the whole problem to begin with.
Yeah, it did.
Why don't we just abolish work? Can we do that?
Cut?
Abolish work
schedules? What are we cutting? What the heck are we doing here? Who?
Oh, yeah, we know.
Oh, we know
Okay,
that.
so the Raiders lost the game just now, Uncle, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, whatever. It's a whatever
well, I knew that. I told you when I came in.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of it.
We're out.
Next week, I'll have to decide on the games. Let me decide them.
Maybe I will.
Because you go into it and it gets distracted, I think.
It was almost right.
It was almost there, but not there. But next week, I'm going to do them.
Okay. We'll see.
All right, now. I would have that done, taken care of.
Okay.
I got my 5 for next weekend. So.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, when he comes up with them.
But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the football games today. We know that. We know that happens on Sunday as the NFL games play on Sundays. We've got that much figured out.
Yeah, we got
and we know it's broadcast night.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's NFL night. It's broadcast night.
Right.
Now, wasn't it a L.A. Rams game where the people went ape and started stabbing and shooting and fighting each other?
Did you hear that? Where'd you hear that?
When did that happen?
When did that happen? We didn't hear that.
Recently?
Was that recently, Jimmy?
It was a week or two ago. It's national news.
Yeah,
What
that
did you
sounds
hear?
familiar.
I got to ask the lady in the news department. That is Nana. She didn't hear about it because she usually wants to hear the news.
It sounds familiar, but I never actually read the story on it.
I never heard of it either.
I think that did happen.
It did? Somebody stabbing people because
Probably.
they're losing?
Well,
That don't make any sense. They're losing a game. They're stabbing people.
It's a little crazy in those stadiums sometimes. You got to watch out.
Yeah. I haven't even been to one yet, and I wanted to go to the one this first game.
Well,
but nobody wanted to move like usual.
Rams are trying to keep up with Philadelphia Eagles. We're trying to see if we can be as violent as their fan base. We're working on it.
Oh.
One of these days.
That's probably what it is, yeah.
Well, from TotalProSports.com, you got the Rams and 49ers fans throw fists during massive brawl at SoFi Stadium.
We know that. That's their rivalry.
Oh, it was just a punch out?
Well, it was a few days ago. There might have been more to it. I didn't read the whole article yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, because you got that guy that was killed at the Patriots game, too. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Killed at the Patriots game?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Another one got killed?
Yeah, that was at the Patriots Stadium, and up there in Boston, I guess. Anyways, just another day in the world of professional sports, football, where grown men are fighting each other over team affiliation. No one should be shocked to know that during the 49ers' visit to SoFi Stadium to face the Rams, the battle between the teams also included the differing fan bases who decided to use violence. One moment was fans fighting in the concourse area as others watched on. Fighting has become so normalized that everybody got their punches in, stopped, and then went about their day like nothing happened. This is what the article says. I don't see anything about stabbings. Let's see. The 49ers went into SoFi Stadium in week 2, and after a sloppy start, pulled away for their 9th win in a row versus the Rams. It was supposed to be a road game, but their fan base showed up and made it into a home venue. San Francisco is now 9-1 versus LA since 2019, and it extended its regular season win streak to 12. Let's see, San Francisco 49ers quarterback, blah, 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 Purdy's stunning rise. Then they get into the game here. But apparently, I don't know, I see a bunch of things about fists, but I didn't see anybody getting stabbed, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh,
a bunch of fist fights, though.
Where'd the other guy go?
This was a different brawl because this was a good couple weeks ago.
Oh. Okay. Well, I see that this is like 4 days ago or something, I think it says. Let's see. When was this published? It was published.
Well, it sounds like this was just a mini brawl.
Yeah.
I tell you, next week's going to be a very, very good week next week. I'm going to have to go by thinking in the head, not the gut. The head's going.
Are you talking about your different NFL picks?
This week, this coming week.
All right.
I'm going to have to do it for you.
You do them. You enjoy that.
I mean, can I bring home the card or the picks or the paper, and I'll go through it myself.
You just fill it out,
and then
play it, and then
I'm going to play it.
And undoubtedly you will win, which I wouldn't doubt would happen. I wouldn't doubt.
Because right now, I mean, the standpoint is we've been so close to these games that was almost a drop-off. What do you mean?
Almost a drop-off.
This catch.
Well, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to predict these things. There's the element of chance all the time. And I think we did pretty good overall. But it's just tough to know. You never know. You don't know till it happens.
Right. But
you can't predict the future.
We don't know. Maybe Tampa Bay will win tomorrow night. Even though
they could.
I think it's possible. Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, what else you have to say, Jimmy?
Well, let's see. I did. What? Oh yeah. What about Aaron Rodgers? He's broke in the first day. Ain't that a laugh?
Oh, that's a joke.
He was put out of action in the first game.
How many weeks out? Was it 6 weeks?
Yeah, welcome to the Jets, where stars go to die.
Huh?
I said, welcome to the Jets, where the star players go to die. That's it. It's like going to the Mets in baseball. You know, you had great seasons. Come on over to the Mets. We'll show you how you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that's a move. Man, my cousin Kevin, he was looking. Wow, you want those Mets? They're sorry, and then he goes laughs at us.
Yeah, no, I'm not upset about Aaron Rodgers. I do not like Aaron Rodgers. So to him personally, like he just can't stop, and he can't stop himself. He thinks he's the best thing ever. He might, I don't know. He should just quit, but he can't seem to bring himself to do that. And
yeah,
the Jets were dumb enough to glom onto him and pay him a bunch of money. And honestly, I think they're getting what they deserve for hiring that idiot, honestly. So I don't feel bad about them doing bad, and I certainly don't feel. I hate to say like I like to see somebody injured, which I don't, but I don't feel bad that he is, because he could have just said I'm done, and that would have prevented this. But his ego didn't let him do that. So,
see, but it almost doesn't matter about this guy's ego or individuality or anything else. I'm going to tell you why, and it's what I call the curse of Shea Stadium. And the reason is because when I was a kid, at a certain point, it was temporary, but at a certain point, the Jets and the Mets both used Shea Stadium. Okay?
Oh, they did?
Yeah, this was a thing. When I was a kid, like, I don't know, maybe 81, 82, somewhere in there, I remember looking at this and going, what the hell, why are the Jets playing in Mets Stadium? And they would be like, hey, look, live from Shea Stadium, on TV. And I'm going, okay. But the Jets inevitably would blow it. Injuries, everything. Mets, same thing. And I went, what the hell is over there at Shea Stadium that is causing this? And look, I enjoyed 1986. That was wonderful. And yes, indeed, the Mets made it back to the World Series in 2000. And I think they went back in 89 maybe for a second there, or at least they got a playoff berth. But I mean, honestly, as a long-suffering Mets fan, I feel like it's the ghost of Shea Stadium that is just cursing both teams for some reason. I don't know what they did wrong there in Queens, but something went wrong. And so forever, just like the Bobby Bonilla thing, where they paid for that for 20 years after, right? They hired him, gave him the biggest contract in baseball history at the time, right? $120 million or something like that in 1991. And the second he shows up, he was a bust. Got fat, couldn't play. It's like, what happened to all those years you were playing with Barry Bonds? Well, I don't do steroids, but I am getting fat. And boom, bust. Exactly. So what are you going to do? And then the Mets had to offer to pay tens of millions of dollars just to pawn him off on somebody else finally, which they did. And I think they only finished paying him last year. Something crazy like that.
Wow.
It was
crazy.
All the deferments. Anyway, but every time the Jets get a player that was a star somewhere else, they're done. The second they get there, it's like, hey, welcome to the Jets. Your career's over. It don't matter. Boomer Esiason, Aaron Rodgers, whoever, whatever. You're done. Once you sign on the dotted line with the Jets, you're done. So that's the way I see it, Uncle. I don't know. Maybe you see it different.
That's true.
Sounds like a solid argument to me, Uncle.
I'm just wondering, was it 6 weeks he's out, though?
I
think it was 6 weeks.
It's only 6 weeks, he said.
Initially, I read the whole season. Now, I don't know. Yeah, but they might have amended that to think that he's going to come back quicker because it's his ankle, right?
Yeah, his ankle.
So depending, I mean, look, a severe sprain, and a severe sprain for me could put me out of heavy activity for 6 weeks. Yeah, no problem.
I would say 6 weeks, give and take that. Yeah,
maybe
would be what it would be.
But either way, I mean, the guy's season is not going to be as productive as what they're paying him for, guaranteed, automatically.
Right, yeah, that definitely.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
No.
You got to know when to say when, Uncle. That's what I'm saying. He should have said when last year and be like, and I had a career. I'm done. It was nice. I'm going to go do something else now. But no, he didn't do that. He got hurt. He's old. You get hurt when you play an intensely physical game like that.
He wanted to still keep playing. No. What are you going to say to a guy that still wanting to keep playing?
Well, everybody wants to be Tom Brady, Uncle. And you know what the problem is? They're not going to hire guys to protect you like they hired to protect Brady. So, you're an old guy. You're going to go over to the Jets. They're not going to have a Tom Brady type line to protect you. Brady got protected in Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, he did that in Tampa Bay and in New England.
Yeah. Yeah, but if he would have signed with the Jets, I'm telling you, it would have been like broken arm end. That's it. Done. One way or another.
Well,
concussion so bad he don't remember his own name. End of career. That's it. Something would have happened if he signed with the Jets. Guaranteed.
Well, that is already.
And even Tom Brady should have quit probably 2 years earlier.
Mm-hmm. He did that.
Right. Even with all that protection, he was still too old to keep going. It's like when George Forman started fighting after he won the belt. He should have stopped right then. George Foreman. Remember that whole thing with George Foreman going back in the boxing?
I
he
was watching that whole thing.
He was like in his 40s at least. Was he older than that?
Yeah, he was older. He was like 43, 45 or something when he won the belt.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah, too old to be doing it. I know that much, yeah.
He had to go back in because he had his money and he had his youth center and all that. And the guy who he was handling his money messed up. And he's like, okay, I'm a preacher. I don't want to fight no more. And then he decided to go back and fight to fund his church, to fund his youth center. And he did that, and he wound up becoming the champion of the world. But you know what? After he did that, he should have just said, okay, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then he went in there and got beat up pretty bad by a couple of guys. And it was like, ooh, man, this is just rough looking. I mean,
that could happen with a championship boxer. If they wanted to stop saying, well, there's got to be somebody, the champion. You know how they say it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pin your belt so long. So they have to have, okay, if you wanted to stop, all right, stop. Then we'll have someone else challenge for that belt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's usually how they do it. That's the rules of the boxing qualification.
See, but you notice Mike Tyson, right? Okay, yeah. He went a little long too, but he was done in his 30s, right? Over.
Right.
But he didn't get completely humiliated. He took a couple losses toward the end. But I mean, that was that. I mean, Buster Douglas and going to prison. Well, it was a problem. He had some left in him. And Forman pulled off a miracle there, coming back. I mean, Larry Holmes tried to pull that off, and he made it a couple of fights, and then you better sit down, old man, because he was getting beat up in that ring, Larry Holmes.
He did.
But
and at the end of the day, the guy that made their money, the most money, was Don King. Only in America. Thanks, fools.
Yeah, right.
That's another story, Jimmy. That's a completely different story.
Never took a punch, but took all the money.
Of man trying to make money on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different from being a boxer.
He's the only guy in boxing who managed to do it when he was. Is he still amongst us, by the way?
I believe he is.
I don't think he died.
No, I don't think he died. I think he just kind of went away. But what else is he going to do?
Ever since Holmes went away, and when Michael went away, because he doesn't have the ability to get boxers to do that no more.
Well,
that's what it is.
Well, once his stars start turning up broke, I mean, what are you going to do?
That was it.
So I mean, once they start turning up broke, you kind of go, maybe I don't want to do business with this guy.
Right.
And he goes away. I think he's still got like his company is still operating. I know that, but you don't see him no more. You know what I mean?
He just stopped because he's looking for the money, and like you said, they broke the boxers, so they can't get him.
No,
the money.
Never took
causing that problem.
Exactly. Never took a punch, but he took all those guys' money. So, there it is. I mean, when Buster Douglas had $1 million payout, and he had to be contracted with King. He got $1 million to fight Mike Tyson in Japan when he took the belt from him, right? It was a simple payout. The guy ended up with $3,700. Okay.
$3,700. That was Buster Douglas.
That's what Buster Douglas got out of when he beat Mike Tyson. That's what he ended up with.
Oh, God.
After they took his expenses and Don King's fees and his manager's fee and everything, he ended up with $3,700.
Wow.
And he went, yeah, I don't know how this happened because I thought I got $1 million. So that's why when they did the rematch and, all that, what did they do? Well, they gave him a payday there. I don't know how much he got out of that, but I know out of the first time, he was completely shocked and angry when he figured out that it was $1 million and it turned into $3,700. Yeah.
Me and my other brother-in-law, Dale, when I was on the farm at the time, we'd been watching the boxing, and we had a couple of rings ourselves, boxing in tournament fighting, just for activity fun, and was going in it for a while, of course, and then got to watch the boxing going on. But we were Holmes and Michael and the other hitters. Boxes at the time. We stopped it now though, but we don't do it much no more. But that's what we used to do.
Well, in the Northeast, there was a lot of possibilities for boxing because you had the Golden Gloves and you had the Junior Amateurs, which I was in, and it was a lot of good stuff. I mean, actually, the reason why I bring up Forman, I love Forman. I was stylistically similar to Forman, so I used the crab defense, all that. And I love the guy, but it was sad watching him get beat up when he was older. And it was like, man, somebody should have told him stop 2-3 fights ago. It was too much.
Now, see, isn't that ironic? Wasn't it him that Don King fetched him on poor old Muhammad Ali in his last fight? And Forman didn't even want to do it because
right.
he was in such rough shape.
That's right, because Michael at the time, did he have the belt then?
Well, with the Muhammad Ali deal?
Yeah.
What do you call it? He beat Forman in in that fight in Africa, right? With the rope-a-dope deal.
Rumble in the Jungle.
Rumble in the Jungle was called, I think. Yeah.
But he lost in the Thriller in Manila.
Oh yeah, that's right. He lost that. So that was a double fight.
Yeah, but isn't that Frazier in Manila? Because that's where
it could have been.
I think it's Frazier in Manila because he
I know it was Muhammad Ali's last fight, and the guy that fought him always said he didn't feel right about it because he knew he was, Ali was off.
Oh yeah. No, there was it was wacky. There was like this journeyman white guy from like Jersey that beat up on him real bad. I remember doing an interview about that where he was like, "Man, I didn't even want to hit the guy because I knew he was not right."
God.
Yeah, that's true. But no, you know what? The Manila thing I remember now exactly because he did a promo with the little gorilla doll. And he was likening Frazier to a gorilla, and he goes, "Come on, gorilla, we in Manila," and he starts punching the gorilla. That was that whole weird thing. Anyways, all right, guys, I don't know if you realize it, but you got about 10 minutes left, just so you know.
Oh boy,
that's a good.
Time is flying around.
That's good.
Well, that's good. At least I did something on this hour.
We did something.
Talking boxing, good stuff.
Oh, Uncle, we're getting a comment in the chat. We've got somebody in Twitch saying GZDR4EV. That was Larry Holmes who didn't want to beat up Ali. Ali corner threw in the towel. They said that fight is what caused the Parkinson's. That fight is what caused the Parkinson's.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
Ali?
Larry Holmes, yeah. That was one of the last fights.
Holmes.
That was one of the last fights for Ali, and that was...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember.
Holmes had been a sparring partner of Ali's before that, and, yeah, he didn't want to beat up on him, and he was. He was just beating up on him. And, yeah, they threw in the towel. That's right.
I see.
Okay, well, thank you, GZDR4EV. That was very helpful. And thank you, anybody who joins the chat. We'd like to see you there. So we got action in the crack room, Uncle.
Okay, then. Well, we might as well go right to end of the show.
Well, it's
because I haven't heard no ring bells on Jimmy's calls.
We can talk a little longer. Yeah, we've got a little bit longer, but I understand where you're coming from, Uncle. I share your sentiment, and don't worry, this will be soon ended. This too shall pass, Uncle.
Well, I had to say something tonight to make my show, so I had to make something out of something.
You're obligated, Uncle. It's that we have to show up
to that thing.
You just made something out of nothing.
Right, because like I said, I didn't hear those rings, those calls, those phones ringing, Jimmy. I mean,
we get a call.
One.
He's still there.
Just for the record, really quick, actually, Ali's last fight was against Trevor Berbick, and who wound up being a contender, and that's the guy that Mike Tyson just destroyed, and he kept falling down repeatedly when he was trying to get back up after this guy beat up on Ali. But the one prior to that, the second to last, was the one with Larry Holmes, and that's the one where Holmes, a lot of people speculate that contributed greatly to Ali's brain damage, the amount of punishment he took in the Holmes fight. So I just wanted to make sure we had that all straight. Your chatter was correct about that contributing to his damage. But the last fight technically is against Trevor Berbick. So, okay, there you go. And I think Berbick beat up on him pretty bad too, and they kind of went, yeah, time to retire now. Yeah, because Berbick shouldn't have been able to pull that off. And that's what Berbick made his name on. I think had a belt, and that was one of the belts Tyson collected as he became the unified, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So, there you go.
Boxing, Uncle.
That's something.
It's boxing player.
Well.
Interesting sport.
We have any other news? Report?
Yeah, I mean, there's so
much.
And
speaking of Mike Tyson, you owe me a jacket, sir. It's been 25 bloody years. I gave you the $85. I want my jacket, sir. Thank you.
You mean he owes you a jacket? What?
Yeah,
Mike Tyson
I paid up for his last. I paid big money to see his fight on, cable, and they had options, and they said jacket. I was like, yeah, I want that leather jacket. I paid for it, never got it.
That's boxers.
I bet
boxers tell you something, but you never get return.
Jimmy, I bet you that's a Don King thing where he didn't come through.
It had to be.
Because I guarantee he was in charge.
I expect you're right.
Yeah. So, but
I get that sounds right to me.
Yep.
Go after King.
Get him.
Go after King, Jimmy.
He has the jacket.
He has a jacket.
He's got it.
So go after King.
Basement.
Hey, yeah, that's mine. Give it to him. For that.
Well, he was avoiding everybody after the first, the first $50 or $60 pay-per-view ever that lasted 90 seconds? Because Michael Spinks, he knocked him out in 90 seconds. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But people paid $50-$60 for that, and it was like,
I remember that fight.
I do recall that happening.
I remember that fight. I did actually see it.
You saw that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That was when me and Dale were still watching the boxing.
Oh, okay.
And we did see that.
And you got the pay-per-view.
And we got the pay-per-view just to see this, and boom! It was 90 seconds. He was gone. I'd never seen a fight that fast. And we were going back and forth at each other. Oh, look how fast this fight has been. 90 seconds and the fight was over.
Buyer beware.
Yep.
Careful.
I remember that, yeah.
Careful what you buy.
Now that the boxing stuff.
Yeah, you might maybe buy some other entertainment option. There's a lot of them out there.
At least if you buy a wrestling show, you get a whole show. I mean, just saying.
I found out something about the wrestling, too. I, one day, was watching an AT&T wrestling match, and something on the TV stopped it, and I didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, is it the 10-second delay?
Yeah, the 10-second delay.
Something obscene happened.
No, not obscene. Fighting. They were still fighting, and this this thing that we have new on our TV, it stopped the show.
Oh, our TV is just junk.
Yeah, I don't know what's that all about.
The TV's bad. Don't work right.
Sure, I can't watch a TV show on TNT anymore.
Uncle, they're doing Monday Night Raw in Ontario tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, now, well, that's the other thing. I haven't seen a Raw since, this thing has gone.
We saw the trucks coming into the stadium because we went to the stadium to see a rock show last night. And we saw the trucks with WrestleMania on the side of them coming in to start setting up for Raw, I guess.
Was it a war?
Yeah, because they're going to pack up the rock show and start setting up the wrestling stuff, I assume.
Oh, that's something new I haven't heard.
Cool, huh? The Ontario Reign Stadium up in out here in the beautiful Inland Empire of Southern California. So many things happening out here.
We have to go, if you wanted to go see one, there's your chance.
Yeah, it's a chance.
You want to see one. If you haven't seen one before.
I'll be all right. I was just up at the stadium.
I wanted to see a Raw one before, but if you ever wanted to see one,
maybe
there's
next
your
time.
chance.
Next time. I haven't followed wrestling in so long, so I don't even know who is who and what's what. I don't know.
That Ontario area is where they used to have the California Jam in the early 70s. The Ontario, what did they call it? The Motor Speedway. I don't know if that still exists, but that's where they had the California Jam for quite a few years there in the early 70s.
Cool.
So, and I only know that because I'm a big Black Sabbath fan, but yeah.
Oh, you like Black Sabbath.
Yeah, because they were there in 74 when they televised it.
All right, now as we have all this talk, have done talk.
We're done, Uncle.
We have the show over, and Jimmy, get out a shout out, and we get the shout outs done.
Yes, we got you.
I know we went over some.
All right, shout out to Mr. Don King. Interesting that you're still amongst us. I guess I wish you well. Seems like you and Mr. Chairman Mouse have things quite in hand. Everything's working like a Swiss clock.
And tell him go after his jacket. Go after his jacket.
Go after that jacket.
Go after that jacket.
Oh, yeah. Don King, come on, man. Send me that jacket. Come on. Make sure it's made in America.
Yeah, there we go.
Great shout out, Jimmy. Thanks.
All right, you go.
Oh, I'm shouting out?
Well, unless Chuck wants to next.
Shout out to the staff at the Ontario Reign Stadium. I saw Behemoth, Danzig, and Suicidal Tendencies was the show last night. They got a little bit harangued by Glenn Danzig, but, it's okay. You'll do better next time, guys. And that's just kind of what he does. So it was all part of the show. Uncle, you got shout-outs?
Having everybody had known, if you're listening, always shout out to the listeners, not the callers. Well, one caller was Jimmy, and not him.
Indeed.
But everybody else, shame. Lost out on the interesting conversation.
Stop watching the Raiders lose and watch Uncle talk. It's important, okay?
Very good.
Okay.
There's my shout out. All right.
Uncle. That's it.
There's a 310th show. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Shout out to Jersey because Glenn Danzig is from Jersey. That might account for the attitude.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yep, that too.